I don't believe that they've had huge transformation from vision boards alone. I don't believe that for a moment. Retiring my husband early, very early, was the top of my list. And I did it. It wasn't that, okay, I need to bring in an extra 100,000 a year. I wasn't putting the money side of things out there. I stumbled across it about 6 or 7 months later. And I was like, I remember this journal. Totally had forgotten what I'd written inside it. Opened up my journal and went through that letter, had another cry because I'm an emotional being. Welcome to Tea with the Priestess, and this week's cup is the cutest little T2 cup. Now, it is a set and it's a tea for two set, actually. I use it as my tea for one. However, this is the tea cup. If you were to see me in person for a tarot reading, which takes a while because I have a really big waiting list, this is the teapot you will often see if you are joining me for a pot of tea, because it's got the two cups that go alongside it. So this little beautiful teapot set doesn't have a saucer, which makes me a little bit sad because I like the whole set. However, it is such a beautiful gift. It has a lot of beautiful memories with the many, many, many beautiful souls that have drunk out of these cups with me. This week, I am drinking a beautiful abundance flow from the high frequency teas that I have been starting to drink from a beautiful local priestess. So, what is in your cup this week? I often wonder, how did we get manifestation so wrong? There have been so many different methods out there. I think about all the different things that I have learned throughout my journey of manifestation, and I just wonder why it's been made so complex. I wonder why no one actually came up with a better system sooner. And I think back to the main source of manifestation. Do you know exactly what I'm going to talk about? Vision boards. If you have been following along with me for quite some time, if you have jumped into my Wealth Codes program, which is an amazing transformational program, it is just high level abundance, right? I talk about vision boards quite a bit in there. Now, I am not anti-vision boards. I think vision boards are amazing. You know, those beautiful pictures on the wall that remind you what you're striving for, what you're working towards, imprinting that image into your mind of what that will look like, right? What that is going to look like in your world. And people have had huge transformation from vision boards. I don't believe that they've had huge transformation from vision boards alone. I don't believe that for a moment. Now, you know that I am here to offer opinions and my experience. I am not here to tell you are wrong. And if you believe that vision boards have transformed your life, fantastic. If it works for you, do it. I've had many clients after doing wealth codes, after working with me on abundance rituals and all the things, say, oh, I've had vision boards for years. It hasn't really manifested for them. Manifestation with vision boards is a beautiful long game. It's about looking at something that is there on your wall every day to remind you of your goals. It's a beautiful strategy. Manifestation to receive is a little bit more complicated than that. However, having a system in place that can include vision boards will assist you to move into whatever it is that you're bringing into a reality. Manifestation practice is not something you do once and just forget about it. It's something that's incorporated into your daily life. When I was manifesting my abundance, my life, when I was manifesting all the things I wanted, I remember very clearly writing down my letter to the universe, which I encourage you to do, as if it's already happened. And I had the tears flowing, I felt the joy, I had all of it happening for me. And if you've been journeying along with me for a while now, you've heard my story of my pink sparkly journal. So my pink sparkly journal was exactly where I wrote my letter to the universe, to Goddess, saying, so much gratitude for all the things I had received. Now, I love pink and sparkles. I love pink, clearly, love pink. It wasn't a great journal to write in. It wasn't the right shape, it didn't open really well. You know how, exactly what I mean, right? When you find a good journal, you know you've got a good journal because the pages, it's easy to write in. If you're a journaler, a spiral bound journal is the best thing ever. But I have a number of beautiful journals that aren't spiral bound, that just open beautifully. This one just didn't, right? And so I wrote that letter in that beautiful journal of mine. And then I decided that it wasn't a great journal for me to manifest with. It's not a great journal for me to write in daily. It wasn't a gratitude journal after all. And so I packed it away and forgot about it. Now I have a very systematic manifestation process that I follow. And I put that sparkly pink journal away on the bookshelf. Yes, and for those of you that followed along for a while, you know exactly what happened. I stumbled across it about 6 or 7 months later. And I was like, I remember this journal. Totally had forgotten what I'd written inside it. Opened up my journal. I went through that letter, had another cry because I'm an emotional being. Had another cry and started checking off all the things. And most of those things I had achieved. Most of those things were actually anchored into my life within that time frame. Now, if anyone had said to me at the beginning of the year, now, Christy, if you work hard, you do the action steps, you check in with Spirit. If you want to learn a bit more about success with Spirit Team, have a look at the last episode. And checked in and you do the work, you can have this life in 6 months' time. Would you not do everything you could to receive that? Would you not be working to anchor in that life? If someone said to you, you can have it in 6 months, and I'm not talking about the fact that I was manifesting like billions of dollars. I wasn't manifesting a private jet. Maybe I should have, but I wasn't. Because I don't believe and that's my belief system again, it could be limiting me, right? I don't believe a private jet would have actually invoked the feelings that you need to have to bring in what you want. You want money? Why? You want to actually be rich? Why? Why? And what level of rich are you talking about? You need to be so specific. And you need to be able to feel it. Put a reason behind it. Now, if someone said to you that you could give it 6 months and you could manifest your dreams, you would be doing everything possible to achieve that. I was manifesting things that were really tangible, but they were life transformational. Absolutely. And I had done vision boards. Don't get me wrong, I was deep in a multi-level marketing hole many, 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 many moons ago. And I think, I don't have a thing with multi-level marketing. A lot of people do. I don't. I actually think that the beautiful community and the upbeat and the professional development they offer is amazing, right? Absolutely amazing. Love it. However, do you make billions of dollars? Not everyone does. No. Did it work for me? No, it didn't. But I'm always there to support people that, dive into that world. Because to me, I prefer to be giving money to my beautiful friends that might be selling candles than go and spend money at a department store and give them money for my candles, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so where I was heading with that is that it was really quite interesting, right? That I had these vision boards. I had the beautiful car. I had the mansion. I had all the things on my vision boards, which they teach you to do in those beautiful multi-level marketing companies, right? And none of my vision board came to reality. Now I know I have an amazing client that often watches this and listens to my things, and I know that she does vision boards. And I know that it works for her. I know that when she looks at her vision board, she knows that is something that's tangible that she can bring in. She's also dived into a lot of my other things, and she doesn't just do a vision board. So what I mean by that is I have manifested before. We got it wrong by thinking a vision board was going to solve all of our life's problems. What we need to do is go, well, hang on a second. Why am I attached to that particular house that's on my vision board? Why am I attached to that car? I'm not. I actually wasn't. The things in my journal, they were true abundance because they meant something to me. Retiring my husband early, very early, was the top of my list. And I did it. It wasn't that, okay, I need to bring in an extra 100,000 a year. I wasn't putting the money side of things out there. I was putting in what I was doing with that abundance. What was I bringing in? What did I need to bring in? You can't always put that on a vision board. But I sobbed seeing my life in 6 months' time, writing the gratitude to Goddess for that feeling that I was experiencing by living that life. And then I put it on a bookshelf and I forgot about it. Was that all I did? Absolutely not. You know, my processes of waking up in the morning, first thing before my eyes open, showing gratitude for what is. Tricking my brain, brushing my teeth with brushing my teeth with the wrong hand while I'm saying my affirmations. Like I did a whole heap of different things. It's a whole heap of different activation, chants, things that I listened to, that I worked through. And one of those things was that letter. Can you imagine the feeling of opening that book, having your second cry, reading it, and realizing that almost every single thing was achieved? Interesting. One of the things I didn't achieve there was something I was wishing for one of my family members, which I had no business wishing for. And that made me realize that actually, wow, that's not my place to wish for happiness, to wish for something, a partnership it was, for that particular person in my world. That's not my job. So that's another key to that manifestation. Happy family? Absolutely. In what way? How does it feel? A lifelong partner? It's really hard to do a vision board with your partner that you're trying to bring in, right? Because you don't know what they're going to look like. So I would always recommend, if you are absolutely wanting a vision board, well, what do you want to feel? What do you want to do with that partner? What are the things that you want to be able to achieve together? They're the sorts of things you want to anchor. You want to anchor in the feeling of the relationship, the feeling of the partnership. You want to feel the gratitude of that. And the abundance. Don't go out there wishing for an extra 100,000 a month. That's not how we manifest. A vision board's not going to do that for you. And I am not dissing vision boards. It's just that we have been sold that lie. As that 25-year-old girl, they're creating this vision board in this multi-level marketing system, which was a great, beautiful business. It was never going to come for me because there was no emotion, there was no deeper reason, there was no soul contract there. I was meant to do that. And if you follow back and you go back to that last episode, you will know exactly why, because Spirit led me through that, because that was areas I needed to develop, frameworks I needed to learn. We pick up the lessons along the way. And so when you get good at connecting with Spirit, realizing that, you know what, to manifest, you still need to do the work. I can't sit there, and again, I apologize, my Netflix analogy. I always use Netflix as my analogy, but it's a really good one. So I keep going back to it. You can't manifest a new job by putting it on a vision board or writing a letter to the universe, closing the book and putting the sparkly book away, and then binge watching Netflix and hoping that it's going to land in your lap. It's not how it works. It's not how manifestation works. You need to show the universe that you're really going to step into the experience, that you're willing to walk in and say and claim and say, hey, this is what I want for my life. Show me the steps and I'll take them. And you take the first step and you take the second step. You want to be offered an amazing next level position in your company. Instead of binging Netflix at night, you should be doing an online course that's going to assist you to present that to your manager to say, well, look at what I've been doing in my free time. I've upskilled in this area. Now let me show you what I can do with this. Or building something on the side to create more income. You know, maybe you've been working all day and your feet are sore and you just want to chill out. Then fantastic, watch Netflix, chill out. If you do that 7 days a week and all day Saturday and all day Sunday because you're too exhausted, you're stuck in a cycle of the life you can't get out. And so bringing in abundance isn't going to happen for you unless you take some action steps. Yes, get really great at manifesting and take some action. And action isn't sticking some pictures on some cardboard and putting it up on your wall. Action isn't making a beautiful Pinterest board with materialistic things. Because at the end of the day, materialistic things don't hold a vibration that is going to allow you to manifest in your dreams. What brings in your manifestations is your heart, is your soul contracts, is your portal. And that's through feeling. Until next week, protect your energy, keep your vibration high, and drink your tea hot.